Well, I started back when I was 5 years old in go-karts. Took a couple years off, got back into go-karts, and then gradually just kept succeeding from there to there to there. We went to USRA, USMTSA mods for a while. Alissa here's a twin, so when we had the twins, we went back down to an IMCA stock car, ran that for a few years, and then I ran into a fella named Trace Iverson of Quality Tree Service who put me back in an A-mod, and we've been running one ever since. I love the A-mods. I love the stock cars, but I love the A-mods too. It's more of a challenge. My grandma and grandma lived in Rock Rapids. We lived in Sibley, and they'd always take me for the summer. My grandpa was part of the security there at the racetrack at Rock Rapids, and we'd go every Friday, and I'd sit there and I'd watch him as a little kid, sitting there all by myself while my grandpa was making sure nobody was doing nothing wrong. And then Bob Close-to-Bore, I classify him as family, uncle. He was racing sprint cars at the time. He also was number 5, and that's how I got my number, but just huge into it and loved the speed and loved just everything about it.
I put a body on my go-kart and put a duct tape number on it. That's what it's been since that day. It was X back then, and then I moved into USRA B mods, and some other guy had an X, so I added an A. Dad wants me to be A5 so we can match, but I said I'm sticking with this since I've been it forever. I started go-karts when I was 6, and I raced till I was 12, and I got into a USRA B mod. I raced at Worthington and Rocky a few times, and then I got into my IMCA B mod and raced this year. Just started this year in it. It's fun, but it costs a lot of money. Just go out there and have fun. It's my second car currently. I got into a wreck at Brett. Otherwise, it's going pretty good.
The officials let me go out on the racetrack to make sure she was okay when she hit as hard as she hit on the wall. And first words out of her mouth to me, I asked her if she was okay. She turns and looks at me. She goes, "Dad, you're not mad, are you?" Her very first words out of her mouth. I started laughing. I'm like, "You're all right." So she's drove her little butt off in go-karts and got a lot of feature wins, and it was getting to the point where they wanted her to race up with the adult classes. And she just come to me one day and said, "Dad, I want to sell my go-karts, and if I'm going to race adults, I want to race adults." So she's very competitive and loves a challenge, so we've been working with it. So a lot of it is because of the quick steer with the go-karts. You know, they don't turn very fast. You know, they turn real sharp and quick. If we would have put her in a hobby stock or something like that, her arms would have been just winging all over the place. And when she made the decision what she wanted to drive, she's been around the modified, she's been around the stock cars. She knows a lot internally on this thing by herself, so she kind of understands what's going on with them. So that's when she come to me and said, "Dad, the only thing I want to drive is a B-mod." So guts inside out last year. She raced Worthington basically. She missed the first 2 points nights there. They averaged 20 cars a night, 19 to 20. At the end of the year, she ended up finishing 7th in points, so she did really well there. Now this year, it's more of a challenge for her because we're bouncing her around to all these different tracks, and and then she totals the car out, and then we got to build a car, and now she's trying to figure out a new car. So she's taken the brunt of what it's like to actually have to work hard. She's always in the shop. Her twin sister's always in the shop with her. She shows a drive. I'm 39. I want to retire here shortly, but I'm just glad that one of the girls wants to fulfill what we're doing, so it makes me pretty happy and proud.
Well, I mostly get my car done ready by myself most of the time.
She loves changing gears.
No, I hate changing gears.
That's why I said what I said. Nuts and bolts her car. I mean, she'll pretty much raise it up in the air and get after it when we tell her what. We make a list every week, and when I get home, basically it's check everything over that they've done, and it works out really well. They're really learning about the automotive world, not all this cell phone stuff and playing with all these games and stuff. I try to thrive that they know what it's all about. So
I just sit in the seat. Got some.
We built some risers for you.
Yeah, built some blocks under there. On the brake and the clutch, I have some bricks taped on there.
First night out of the box here, we got in a little fender bender with somebody, and they took me out of the race. The second night we come back out here, Had a beautiful race with Jay Notaboom. A good friend of mine, actually bought the car from him. We ended up door to door the last 4 laps, and I ended up winning. Then we actually come out leading the points by 1. Had a couple rough nights, finishing 4th, 5th, you know, not too far out of the top, but then fell back. The points is so tight in the A-Mod world. The competition is so unbelievable, and the friendship and the camaraderie that a lot of us A-Mod guys got is unbelievable. I'm just hoping I can stick out these points races and get this championship done for my car owner and then for my family. And then off to Boone we go to have a fun week. So hopefully everything keeps going the way it's going. We had a good run last night. Changed a bunch of stuff on the car. It works real well now. So we'll see what it does here on the nice short track. It's a lot, and I mean a lot of maintenance at home. Like, for instance, we raced last night, so today you touch every nut and bolt on the car, make sure everything's free, tight. It takes so much time and effort throughout the weeks, and without my sponsors and everybody, we couldn't do it. But I mean, just done it for so long. I still love it like I loved it when I can still remember when I was 5 and got in a cart and stood on the gas. You just can't ever get rid of that feeling once you strap your helmet on and you hit the racetrack. It's just always there, and I love it. I don't normally points race, but I'm just going to keep trying to stay on top here and win one here for one of my main sponsors is Graham Tire here in town where I work. I'd like to just get it for them since it's their hometown and their track. So I, for one, like I said, I'd love to thank all my sponsors, my friends and my family. This racetrack here for keeping going. I know they've had some tough spells in the past few years, and I'm glad that they're not giving up and they keep going, because this is huge for the community of Spencer. And I thank the Fair Board, just thank everybody. So
Thank all my sponsors, my friends and family. They helped me to get me to where I am right now. I'll probably stick with this for a while, maybe move up. Who knows?